Hello. Just want to see if the captions are. Oh yes, the captions are working. Perfect. All right, I'm just gonna grab my water and then we can get going. So excited. All right. Hello. Hi everybody. How are you doing? I hope everybody is having a absolutely fantastic um New Year's Eve. I bet for some of you it's probably already New Year's. If so, happy 2023. I am in the past still, but not for long. So I'm definitely excited to ring in the new year. I am thrilled to be ringing in the new year, being able to. I'm gonna adjust my camera a little bit. I don't know why it's so high. There we go. Eyes and Neil. Perfect. That's better. That's so much better. You can see all of my camera stuff on the table. It's fine. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. I'm so excited to be able to ring in the new year. Having my first stream on It Gets Better for their ambassador program. I'm thrilled. I feel absolutely honored to be able to be a part of this program, and I'm so excited for what the next 6 months are going to look like. And I'm excited to hang out today. So what I had planned was I was just gonna talk a little bit about um my queer story, my coming out story. It was an interesting one and has a couple of different facets concerning like the intersectionality of queerness and growing up in a very strict, like, indoctrined religious household, being queer and being fat, being queer and being disabled. Like, it incorporates all of those different things. And so I'm just gonna kind of like give a overview of what that looked like for me. And then later on in some of our other streams, we're gonna break down a little bit more, get into detail a little bit more about aspects of that, um, and how those play a role in a lot of people's queer stories. Because as a lot of us know, as marginalized individuals, it's oftentimes multiple marginalizations. It's oftentimes multiple intersectionalities that we're dealing with, and all of that informs our experience and shapes our experience tremendously. So yeah, I'm super excited to talk about that and to get into the Sims. Is that Julian? Hi, Julian. I hope you're doing fantastic. I have a shell of a house that I started months ago and never got around to like actually designing the inside of the house. So that's what we are going to do today, and just hang out a little bit and have fun. I feel like my music is still just a tad too loud in your ears, if so I apologize. um yeah, I hope everybody, does anybody have New Year's plans? I want to know. Tell me, are you gonna eat good New Year's food? Ooh, do you have like a typical food that you eat during New Year's or like New Year's Eve? Is there like a traditional thing that you do? Um, like for us, we tend to have lots of like finger foods, snacky foods, is what I like. So we have plans for charcuterie boards and maybe some, oh my God, maybe some chicken wings. Maybe some chicken wings. And it looks like there's an ad incoming right now. If so, I apologize. I apologize. Uh, I will make sure to reiterate all of the food I'm talking about. I think we might have to add hot wings to that mix. We'll see. We'll see what we could finagle. Um, and then yeah, definitely we're going to have a bunch of charcuterie stuff. We have tons of cookies. Can I tell you before we start playing The Sims? Can I tell you about the cookie catastrophe that we because it ended up not being a catastrophe. Uh, Here's what happened. So I was streaming on my channel last night because my internet had been going in and out because of the storm that we're going through right now. So it was cutting out like every 2 to 5 minutes. So I was like, okay, it's been a few hours. I want to see if it's stable enough for me to just like do a little tester stream to see if things would work today. So we went ahead and did that. And then I realized I had picked up my phone and we started talking about desserts somehow. And got on the subject of cookies. And so I was just looking, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna look and see what like Crumble has on their menu or something like that. So I opened up my DoorDash and then realized that Insomniac cookies was on DoorDash. Well, I have never had Insomniac cookies before, and I know that there is a rift. There is a great divide for some between Crumble and Insomniac cookies. So I was like, okay, should I try them? Let's do it. And so I had chat help me pick out all the flavors that we were going to try. We ordered it. And then I ended stream. And I was like, okay, the cookies are going to be here soon, y'all. Well, I realized on my phone that our DoorDash order I was like, okay, they're coming. The cookies are coming. We ate some food. We put on TV. We're waiting. And then my partner goes, hey, are we still getting those cookies? And I was like, oh yeah, we ordered cookies. So I went and looked and saw that it was still in like preparing your order mode. And it had been well over an hour. It was going on 2 hours. So I contacted them and they were like, no, it should be fine. It should be on the way. I'm like, okay. The delivery time is still the same. Yep. Okay, cool. So then I looked at my app again and even though we were never assigned a driver, it didn't say we were ever assigned a driver on the app. It jumped from being like preparing your order to order complete. And so I opened the door. There's nothing there. So I had to go back and I was like, hey, why no cookies? It says the order is complete. And they're like, just give it a moment. I was like, okay, sure, fine, no problem. Yeah. So we do that. No cookies. So then I'm like, hey, I did the thing. No cookies. And so they're like, okay, let me just check 1 second. Can you verify your address? So I do that. And then they take a little bit and they come back and they're like, yeah, that got delivered to the completely wrong address, like the completely wrong house. And I'm like, okay. And so what do we do? And the guy's like, well, I can refund you or I can reorder them. And I was like, are they still open? And he was like, yeah. So I was like, okay, just reorder them. So he reorders the cookies for me. Then I get a link from the store itself and they're like, here's your driver, here's the tracker. So we wait about another 45 minutes. And then the cookies finally arrive. Welcome back, Sunil. The cookies finally arrive, okay? And so we ate them. They were good. Fast forward to this morning. My partner opens the front door to take our dogs downstairs to the dog park. and there's a box. And we pick up said box, and wouldn't you know it, cookies. So I'm not sure if the cookies we got last night I, I swear I I have 2 boxes of cookies. Same order. Double cookie all the way across the sky. So my partner's like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "Are these cookies?" And sure enough, so I don't know if the cookies that ended up on our door last night were the ones that got lost and then were found, or I don't know what happened. But we now have double the cookies. I'm not mad about it. I think maybe what happened is like they put in the reorder, right? And the guy was like, "They're still open. I'll put in the reorder." I think that reorder came in probably right when they were closing. And so what happened was they put it in their system, and then in the morning when they opened, they had it delivered. Yeah. So that's my double cookie story before we start playing The Sims. I am a very happy person with double the cookie on New Year's Eve. So now I don't have to worry about desserts. We have double the cookie. And not only double the cookie, we have double the, you know how they like, I didn't know that Insomniac Cookies gives you like a container of just like Dunkaroos dip for your cookies. But I have 2 of those now. I'm not mad. Not mad about it. Not at all. So now you know my double the cookie story. And I'm going to get our Sims up and situated here. Perfect. Yeah, Zanil, yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. It'll capture in just a moment, any moment now. It'll pull up. This happens to me every time. For whatever reason, The Sims just, oh, there we go. There we go. Blam. Perfect. Every once in a while, The Sims just doesn't work on my game capture. But that's okay. So, I realize that you can't see me. It'll just be 2 moments. There we go. Perfect. Why did I disappear? Uh-oh. Strange. Yes, I still have my Christmas stuff in my background. Don't mind me. There we go. It should stay now. Perfect. I'll turn this down and I'll turn our Sims music for a bit. Cool. I don't know if you got special cookies or if that's a new thing, because I never got that before. Yeah, it's like, it's, what was it called? Hold on. I know the name of it. And they let you put toppings in it. So it was like, there was like chunks of Snickers in there. Cream cheese dip. Cream cheese dip. And it was delicious. And I can't wait to eat more of them tonight. All right. So this is the little build that I did. If we have people that are here from my channel, they might recognize this little build that we did together, probably back in October. I'm ordering myself some cookies tonight. Do it. You deserve it. You deserve it. One of my I don't know if I would call it like a resolution so much, but one of my goals for 2023 is to allow myself to experience more things that bring me joy because I deserve it. Because I deserve it. And you know what? You all deserve that too. And that loosely also came from me allowing myself to, over the past year, I would say now, just embrace myself and embrace my queerness and simply do it because I deserve it. I deserve it for existing. Because for me, for my particular, I'm gonna actually get rid of these. I don't know that I like this color. For my particular coming out process, journey, story, I don't want, yeah, I don't know if I like the pink. Hi, Mamie J. Hope you're doing great. It was a process that kind of happened more so when I became an adult. Because I did grow up in a background that it invoked a lot of fear in me. Even the prospect of allowing myself just on my own to come to terms with the fact that I was queer. And that came from just like the deep-rooted fear that was put in me from a very young age of like the religion that we grew up in, basically. So does this have no border on it? Because I think I like that better. Yeah. And that's just because, you know, growing up being told, you know, if you are this way, you are wrong, or you are bad, or you are a sin, and things like that. I think that did the whole room, and that's way too much green for me in the house. I mean, no, it's not a bad color. I just wanted the back wall. I just wanted to try the back wall. But growing up with that fear that I experienced through that religion made it so where even in quiet moments by myself, I don't like this color. Even in quiet moments by myself, it's not something that I would even allow myself to admit out of fear of, you know, the judgment of God and things like that. I'm gonna listen while I draw. So sorry if I'm not super active. No, please enjoy yourself. However everybody wants to hang out today. Listen, we are just here for the vibes. We're here to talk, and we're here to have fun. That's it. That's it. Whatever capacity you are here today, whatever the amount of spoons that you possess with you today, I'm here for it. This kind of feels very jolly. Sorry. So you're going to watch my process of how I decorate houses. And for people that are like, if you're like, how are you going to, how do you take hours doing this? Like this. I am a swatch baby. Okay. I will put 20 different swatches on the walls and 20 different lights and be like, yes. Oh, but now it doesn't match the window. Hey, Durtark, hello, welcome in, friends. It's so good to see everybody. So yeah, a big part of my journey was allowing myself to love and experience parts of myself and my queer self without that fear, because at that point in my life I was already an adult and I had already moved away from my close family that elicited a lot of that fear and judgment. I was already no longer in that environment, but still held on to that fear. Ooh, I kind of like these two together. Okay, you are so bad. Thank you. Everybody is valid. I mean, like, not everybody, of course, like people that are trying to hurt people, no. But as far as us talking about this and talking about who we are and our queerness, absolutely. This is cute, but how do I do? What if I do that and then take this orange and do here? Or do I like the red more? I don't know, chat. Do we like orange more? What about this? No, I like the little bit of color that I think that's cute. I like that. Hello, Jesse. Welcome in. You're fine. Thanks for being here. So allowing myself to, like, you know, okay, there is those things that kept me from being who I am, or expressing who I am as a person, expressing my love, are no longer there anymore. Lyrica, you can take a breath and to start experiencing that joy that you have been always wanting to experience. And so I think that that's really important, because that was a very strong aspect of at least my coming out, to where I had to unlearn and let go and heal from that on my own. Even though those people, I wasn't directly subjected to what those people were saying, or trying to project on me anymore. So allowing myself to experience that joy and allowing myself to take that into other aspects of my life, was, I mean, I can't put a worth on that, because that was such a freeing feeling. And it's something that I still work on, like, all the time. This window's bugging me. This one, I gotta fix this. And I also think there's so many different aspects to coming out, right? And to doing that in a way that not only keeps us safe in many different aspects, safe physically, you know, safe emotionally and mentally, but also taking into consideration things like this. Like, this was not something that I shared with my family right away as an adult. There was a point as an adult where all the people that I had grown close to that were found family, and thank you so much for that, Lurk. Just trying to see what I want to do. If I wanted to put like an office space down here, or section out one of the bedrooms up here, because I was gonna have two bedrooms, a bathroom, and maybe a little office area here or here. But yeah, I think it's also really important to consider things like, for me, I knew that there were certain people in my family that me putting forth the spoons and putting myself in a position of possibly you know, experiencing trauma all over again. There were certain people that I just didn't feel the need to, like, fill them in, basically. This is so freaking cute. I wish it was bigger. I need to re-download my tool custom content so I can make this bigger, because it's such a cute little froggy and I can't handle it. There were certain people that I didn't discuss it with, because I knew that it wasn't going to come to any sort of resolution. I wasn't going to be put in a safer position or feel better with them knowing. It was just going to cause their very bigoted and hateful ways to come forth. And for me, that wasn't something that I wanted to go through again. So I did very much kind of pick and choose who I let know. And then for a lot of other things, I was just like, I'm just going to live my life. I'm just going to live my life in the way that makes me happy, and I'm going to do it, and it's going to be inconsequential to what other people think how I should be, or ooh, it's very witchy, how I should be, or who I should love, or I how I am as a person, or how I identify. I kind of want this over here because I was gonna put like the TV area over here. I still don't know what I'm gonna put instead of that green. Let's go back to paint. And I do hop around from task to task on this a lot. I apologize. I had so much CC and it all got lost when my computer reset, unfortunately. I'm a sucker for wallpapers. So yeah, when I did decide to finally like tell my friends and my found family, like, hey, this is me, this is who I am, you know, I am queer. I am queer. And I remember the first time deciding to ask people to recognize pronouns that I was trying out. And knowing that I had a community, there was an aspect of fear, a little bit of fear that I had. But I think that a lot of that fear actually came from, I'm going to put it over on this wall. I think a lot of that fear came from what I was subjected to in the past. Because I knew that I was at this point surrounded by a community that wasn't going to judge me. But I did still have that little bit of fear. But I remember how much of a freeing feeling it was that day when I was like, hey, you know, this is me. I'd like to try out these pronouns and see how it feels, and how not one person made it a hardship. Not one person was like, no, I'm not going to do that, or why. And so that was one of the highlights for me of what happened when I came out. Can I ask advice? If it's okay if not, I don't want to get you off track. Oh no, I mean, like, I can definitely give an idea and a scope of maybe a situation, sure, but I don't want you to feel like you're getting me off track. We're here to vibe and we're here to talk about things, and I think that's right inside of the realm of what we're doing. Do you think that these don't go together? But I kind of like them. Where was the wallpaper I was looking at before? Here we are. No. What are these? Are these little suns? Little sunsets? Problem is, I like them all. Let's try this, and then I was actually curious in the green that they are using. But it's got a... I guess the white border matches more with this, and so it's kind of like a smoother transition into that color. I kind of like that. Let's go back to the green. We'll do that. I need this tool. Yeah, my whole goal is to just, you know, share my experience, and if that rings true for somebody, that's fantastic. And if that can help somebody, or in any way make somebody feel more comfortable, then that's all I can ask for, to be honest. Like when I was around 14, maybe I realized I was gay, and my aunt disowned me and told me no niece of hers should be gay. Now almost all of her sisters are queer, and me or her are on good terms now, but I find myself still upset at how she was back then, and I was wondering how I forgive her. Yeah, I think that that can definitely be tough. I know in my personal experience, let's get started with the bathroom over here. I know in my personal experience, like for instance with my own mother, who has come to be um a more open-minded person. I wouldn't say that she's all the way there yet, but she is much more open-minded than she was before, and that has allowed us to have a little bit more of a relationship. um but there are times when there is that struggle that I personally felt and still feel at times, of like, how do I rectify what it was like before, like how do I maintain or grow the relationship that I have now, because it's at a place now where I like it. But what do I do with what was there before, because that still hurt, and it's important that that is given validity, because how you felt then, how you were made to feel then, the harm that was caused, it's something that needs to be addressed. And so I think that, personally, like if I was in a place where I was feeling like that, that's when I would reach out and be like, hey, I'm grateful for the changes that I've seen in you as a person. I'm grateful for what we have now. But I just wanted you to know that, what was said back then, what was done, that hurt. And this is why it hurt. And I feel like people that are geared towards wanting to make that change and are geared towards making sure that their actions don't cause harm will be open, or at least will try to be open and receptive to that, because when we love somebody, that's not our intention, is to ever cause harm. But here's the thing. Our impact is always going to equal more than our intent every single time. And it's something that we have to realize in order to make sure that we are being mindful of others. So yeah, I definitely, I know, like I said, definitely personally, that would be something that I would have to figure out a way, even if it was like me writing a letter or sitting down with that person. Put two people in a room for long enough, eventually they will hurt each other. What's important is how they deal with the aftermath. Exactly. I think it's impossible to go throughout life without hurting anybody at all, ever, throughout your whole life. I think that would be a very difficult thing to do. I think it's important that we realize that in being humans, that's something that is bound to happen. But how do we deal with it? How do we deal with it? How do we own it? How do we show this person that not only was this not our intention, but we realize that despite the fact that it wasn't our intention, we did cause a hurt, and how do I rectify that for you? Some people have two opposing sensory needs. Absolutely. I don't want outside tile in the bathroom. I don't want stone. What about... I had so much CC tile at one point. I guess we'll just do like a... That's fancy. There we go. I like that. Yeah, I guess I was worried that she'll be like, why are you dredging up the past? But you're right. If she's willing to change and grow, she'll hear me out. Yeah, and I think that, a lot of time, it's also human nature that if someone's like, hey, You did something that I didn't like. You did something that, you know, a lot of times our first reaction is to get defensive. And it's learning to stop, take a moment, realize that that was a reaction, um, and then respond not in reaction, but instead respond intentionally. I think that's really important. If someone steps on your foot accidentally, it hurts just as much as if someone did it on purpose. So if it was an accident, it doesn't change that your foot got hurt, but it does change. What it does change is what you're willing to do after the hurt. Exactly. And that is also an act of love. I definitely feel that that is an act of love, you know? Are these froggies in all different colors? Okay, we gotta find a way to put one of these in every single room. Can we do that? Because, oh my God. I don't know what color to put in the bathroom. Let's do purple. Oh God. A frog in every room. Yes, I'm here for it. It's cute, and I like it with the purple. Also, I'm a patterns baby. You're gonna see a lot of patterns. This pattern just struck me as a bathroom one. Let's put it maybe right here. Then I'm gonna put the shower. Well, little elephants are cute, but doesn't really match. A frogs for every room. Forg time. Oh yeah, that's cutie patootie. Definitely. Can I fit a sink in here? I may have made this bathroom too small. Is that a drinking fountain? That must be a CC that I have. Is there like a cute, a cute purplish sink? Is this a sink? What? Stop. Shut the heck up. How does this work? Does this go on the wall? Sink tiles. Wait, but is it a usable? Hold on. Can I make it higher off the... Can I make it much higher? No? Okay. I tried. What about this one? It just seems really low to the ground. But maybe it's not. And the sink itself is up there, and that's not the one. Listen, it just popped up in my head. There was nothing I could do. I was a victim of my own mind. I used to have so many more CC sinks. And now I'm sad because the one that I'm looking for, I'm now realizing is not here. Let's see. The one that's a little purplier. I mean, that's cute. I think that gives people enough room. And then I'll put the toilet right here. In this wholesome stream? Oh, yes. Hydrate your bones, chat. Important. I guess another interesting part was it when I got into high school. I started to get really involved with um activism surrounding the LGBTQIA2 plus community, and it was a particularly uh high tension time. It was that was right around the time that, for those of you that have heard of it before, like Prop 8 was circling around. uh let's do this one. And so I spent a lot of time doing what I could, going out, and if it was even like passing out flyers, or like I remember when I was in high school, this one, when I was in high school, we had to do a certain amount of hours of community service in order to be eligible for graduation. And so I was able to get it so I could do those hours by helping out at different events and protests and things like that. So that's what I did for my community service. And there was one particular time when I had told my mother that I was going to go do my community service, but I didn't necessarily tell her what it was for. She knew that I had been doing, activism type work. Of that nature, but she definitely didn't approve of it, and definitely was outspoken about it, and definitely wouldn't have let me, oh, I want this mirror to go up more, definitely would not have let me go out to do that. So and I told her I was doing my community service, and she was like, great. So we go out there, and it was one of the most incredible experiences. I will never forget it. I met so many amazing people, and all the while there's this voice inside of me that's like, you are denying this part of you. You are denying this part of you, and having to be like, no, I'm not. I'm just here trying to do what I can because there's people that I love involved in this. This isn't about me. Which was 150,000% a fear response. And so I remember there being a point when we had gathered quite a few people. We were out there, people were telling their stories. We were just enjoying each other, and it was phenomenal. Well, there was one point when the media got involved, and long story short, I ended up on TV. I ended up on the news that night, and wouldn't you know it, my mother was definitely watching the news that night, and definitely saw her child. I think I'm gonna change it to this green. Which ended up sprouting a whole conversation over, like, her basically asking me, you seem to care about this more than you care about many other things. Why can't you put more effort into this? And then me trying to explain it is possible to care about more than one issue, more than one thing, more than one topic at a time. I was out of the news. Yeah. And so she basically was questioning whether or not I was queer at that point, and at that point I did deny it because I was scared, and it was a truth that I hadn't even let myself take in at that point. Do I want the same cabinet? Yes, but maybe in a slightly different color. And you know, in that moment of her asking me that, oh yeah, here's something important. If you're at home and thinking about whether you should come out and it's not safe there, like you know that your parents, guardians, whoever react badly, yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it to compromise your safety. And I think that sometimes that isn't talked about a whole lot. Like, you know, we want to be able to say, go out, be who you are, be unapologetically you, you know, don't hide yourself, but we also have to take into consideration a safety factor. I think is really important. And for me, that was really crucial too, because I didn't want to be in a position where I had no resources and I didn't have a home, um, and things like that. So that was a decision for me I had to make, to not tell a lot of people. And what's sad is that within that happening, that also meant that I was actively denying a part of myself. Like, it's not great, but you were put in a position of survival. Exactly. And I remember sitting on the couch, and when she was asking me that, like, my heart started pounding as if she could see this. She like she knew that I was lying or something. And I don't think that she necessarily had that thought at that moment. But that deep fear was in me. I'm like, oh my gosh, is she gonna see this part of me that I won't even let me see? Am I gonna be able to put a sink here? Okay, I will. Get a difference. So that was also, yeah, that also was a big part of me not coming out until I was an adult. Or almost, I was almost an adult. I was either just turned 18 or I was right about there. And then even then, it was something that I had still been quiet about for a while, because, you know, it's like, well, I had confided in a person who I thought was my friend at the time in school once, when we were in, oh, maybe junior high or something, just or maybe the beginning of high school. And it ended up turning into a really bad situation, where then I couldn't turn around and tell my mom, hey, you know, so and so is refusing to take me to school anymore, um because they think that I'm queer, and then that automatically means that I'm going to be interested in them. And so I couldn't tell my mom that, because then that would be admitting that I was queer. Um, so yeah, it was a lot of keeping quiet over the years. Uh, but boy, howdy, I don't know how far away I want to put this. When I was able to, oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem. When I was finally able to, you know, be like, hey, this is me. This is me. And I'm telling everybody, not because I feel like I have an obligation to or anything like that, but I'm telling everybody because it was almost like me introducing myself to me again as well. Um, so yeah, I think that's important. And I think that, like Zanil mentioned too, if you're in a position where it's going to cause a safety concern, don't feel pressured to do that. It's not worth it. And that's a decision that you can come back to and make again when you are in a place where you will be safe, because your safety is what always matters first. What do we think? Do we want like a entertainment stand center right here, or just like the floating TV? I used to have one that would sit right in the middle too. And how big do we want it? This is kind of like a rattan. I like it. Be a little too dark. Let's see. 9 out of 10 times I hate the anonymity of the internet because people hide behind it to bully others. However, that's a lot. However, I do love that I can also provide a safe space for queer folks to live as their authentic selves if they cannot do so in real life. Exactly. And I think that is also important because for some people we can't, you know. I was one of those people that couldn't for such a long time, and the internet provided, you know, within the right community, provided a support system for me, provided a way for me to be able to explore who I am and all the parts of me, without it being a safety concern. And that is immeasurable. That is the matter of life or death for some people. Absolutely. And of course, is there bad stuff there? And is there a whole lot of other things that we unfortunately have to deal with? Yeah. The couch right there. But I am thankful that we're able to have those spaces, and that's one reason why, you know, if any of you are from my own channel, you know right away that I am big on like, hey, if you are wanting to try out different pronouns, try out a different name, any of those things, please do that. Please let me know. Please let us know so we can help you and support you in that in whatever way that we can, because sometimes that's the only space where that can happen. What kind of couch do I want here? Is this whole couch just a ghost? Is it just a ghost couch? That's kind of cute. Let's see. I do have quite a large selection of couches though. I kind of like it. It's kind of like a very rusticy sort of cottage witchy vibes going on with the entertainment center and the couch and this whatever's going on here with the cactus. I still might change because it's cute. I just think that maybe it doesn't fit. I don't know. Would this be better to bring in some of the... Yeah, that might be better. Yeah. Ghost couch. You sit on seemingly nothing and it feels like nothing, but you are still sat. I love that. That's perfect. Ugh, I love these patterns. Can I tell you how excited I am for the new design choices that are coming for The Sims? And I know, listen, I know I have some friends out there that are diligently plugging away at the 100 baby challenge. I'm so sorry, but the babies will be crawling soon. I bet you like a leather couch. The babies will be crawling soon, and my heart goes out to you, every one of you. Ooh, that couch looked very ace. It did have like very ace color scheme. I'm trying to find one that is gonna go good with like this couch, right? In the entertainment center, but also ties in this wallpaper a little bit more, because I love the wallpaper, but I feel like maybe it doesn't fit the rest of the aesthetic going on here. But I don't want to get rid of the wallpaper, so now I'm just trying to tie it in for my own neediness. And I feel like a mossy green couch might be able to do that for us. Let's see. You got mossy green for us? It's a big couch. It's too big. Was this the same couch, just different colors? Interesting. Like, should I go wood back? No. I don't know. We're gonna be here for 2 hours trying to find a couch. Like that time I spent 3 hours on the windows. Oh my gosh, it's just like a straight up grandma's patchwork couch. Oh boy. Been a while since I've seen a couch like that. Okay, be honest with me, chat. Be honest. How many of you have experienced what it is like to sit on a plastic couch? Do you know what I mean when I say that? Okay. Did any of you have the family members, the grandmas, the aunties, that would cover their furniture with this clear plastic? It was like a clear plastic covering that would fit over the whole couch. And when you sat on it, it was like crunch. I don't know. I have quite a few sensory nightmares, and that was one of them. How's this? And that's what that reminded me of. 100%. Kind of like... Let's see. Is this just floating? Oh no, it's not. It's like a futon. I know what you're talking about. Didn't have it on my couch, but surprised my mother never did. Look, I had a relative that had like their entire house had that on it. Every surface that you can sit on had this, and the plastic was thick. If you've ever bought like a comforter from a store and you have to like unzip it out of that clear plastic, that's what the material was over the whole couch. There was definitely a couch we weren't allowed to sit on. I'm like, I will find, oh my god, that's just a booth. That's a whole booth. I know exactly what you're talking about. Persian families do this too. Oh no, where did we find this stuff? Where did we decide that this was a good thing to put on a place of comfort from which we are supposed to sit? That's too bright. I need to know. The hipster hugger. Wait, is this a couch? Why is this listed under couches? It did not. We just weren't allowed to sit on it. Or like, I like, look at, I am a neurodivergent baby that likes, I think I'm gonna go with this one. I am a neurodivergent baby that really likes soft things. The kind of soft things that don't like, not material like microfiber, because microfiber is like you touch microfiber, you grab microfiber, and microfiber grabs you back. That makes sense. I don't like stuff that grabs me back. So but it's not a dark enough green. That might work though. So why would you not allow like certain pillows in our house? I remember And with the pillows, it was like, no, you can't lay on that pillow. It's for decoration only. And I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Why? Why? It's a pillow. So I definitely had a hard time with that concept. Because I'm like, this makes absolutely no sense to me. Should I put like a little reading nook over here? That's too much furniture in this one little area. You know what else is a weird concept? What? Maybe I'll put this upstairs. You know, like decorative soap? Wait, what's decorative soap? What the heck is decorative soap? I'm learning today. No, maybe I'll put the reading nook up here somewhere. Okay, so this is master bedroom. Maybe a reading nook that's like right by this window. There. So I know what that is now. That reminds me, my parents and I went to the Peabody Hotel in Orlando years ago when I was like 12 or something, and we got a bunch of their cute little duck-shaped soaps to bring back with us. They're real cute. Oh my gosh. It's soap that is shaped to look like things, but you're not supposed to actually use it. Why? You know there'll be like these elaborately carved soaps that look like tiny sculptures. What? Wait! All my soap comes out of a bottle. What? That's not true. Not all my soap comes out of a bottle. But like the soap that doesn't come out of a bottle I get from Lush, and it's just like bar soap. Hang on. Oh my god, am I about to learn something new today? I feel like this is too off center. Like I kind of want to be like that. Yeah, that's better. Maybe I will put this. Oh, that's a good spot. Maybe I'll put the fridge over. Yeah. And then we'll do... I kind of like the booth idea. I used to have... like a little diner set. And it was really cute. In my CC. Little tiny table I could put there. One's super fancy, but you'll usually see ones like this. On that. That's so... Okay, but I would still use that. I don't know. I would totally still use that. I mean, you just have to replace it. Oh, maybe this is too much and I should just put bar stools here. Is there perhaps another color that might suit a little better? There we go. Buy fancy decorative soap. Do not use so you don't have to replace. That's the logic, I guess. Buy cheap hand soap with large refill bottle. Yeah, we would always have like the, what's it called? What was it called? Like soft soap. And we had the big bottle underneath the sink and then you refill it. But I do remember my mom or my grandma having like these tiny little, like, I don't know what was inside of them. Probably soap. But they were like these, like one was shaped like a heart. There was some shaped like little duckies. They were just on all stars, little shapes. And if you like put them in a hot bath, they'd break open. I think kind of like the idea of bath bombs in a way. Thank you so much for that hydration reminder, chat. Hydrate. Also, Vinces, thank you so much for that follow. I don't know if I remembered to say it before. They're like little gel packs. What are those? What are those? I think that purple was kind of cute. All right, let's move to upstairs for now. What a blast from the past. I know. Look at this. I would have never went down this nostalgia lane if we weren't talking about like what it was like when I was growing up and like being queer and things like that. One thing I will have to say is there were people in my life when I was growing up who, even though I never outwardly admitted to them that I was queer, watching them be adults and like individuals who were queer, who were living their lives out loud because they could, was such a light for me in very dark times. And so they didn't know that that I was quietly, that they were quietly my role models. But they definitely were. And I thank them for that, because that showed me that even if it wasn't okay right then, and even if I couldn't live in my authentic truth and live as my queer self then, that I would be able to. One day I would be able to. And I feel like that's a common story for a lot of us, especially when you have to think about issues of safety. It's like you kind of have to hold on to the idea that I may not be able to outwardly express this now. I may not be able to wear the things that I want to wear now, or go by the name that is truly my name, like be me. I can't do that now, but this person, this show, these words are showing me that I can one day. You might even say that it gets better. It does. It absolutely. And I know that like, that's not just like, it's true. It absolutely does. And funny enough, when there was also another moment right around that Prop 8 time, this is the master bedroom. So I'm just trying to see what I want to do for this one. It's going to be a cute little room. There was in that same period of time where we actually ended up in San Francisco doing this big event, celebrating the LGBTQIA2+ community, and also fighting against Prop 8. And so we ended up doing this big march across the Golden Gate Bridge, which was amazing. And it was right around the time that It Gets Better actually got started. And so I ended up meeting people from It Gets Better and getting involved with a little video shoot that they did back then. having no idea that over 10 years later, It Gets Better would be involved like in streaming and online in the way they are today, and that our paths would cross again. So that was another really transformative point in my life, and I really like this. I know it's a beetle, but it's kind of cute. It is kind of cute. You got to find the things that get you through it, because my God, does it get better. And know that there's no shame in struggling with either. Exactly. Because it's a struggle, and it is not easy. What's this? Is this a mural? Is this like an ocean wall mural? Can I put that in the bathroom? Let's see. Not what I wanted. Just wanted to see how long of a door we got here. Or wall. How many panels does this take? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I'll just do just that and that. Yeah, I like that. Like, I think there is sometimes in just saying it gets better with no context is that it can feel like out of yes, it's important. Yes, I think it is important to give context for it. Yes, there definitely is a point to your fight, and there is a payoff. And yeah, it also is really, really hard sometimes, but there are people out there that will love you and will cherish you for exactly who you are, and who will help walk you through those horrific times, whether it be you navigating, dealing with, your family, and the community that you were surrounded with that doesn't accept you or didn't accept, you coming out. There are people that do, and there is a community that is there for you and that will support you. And sometimes it can get so difficult, waiting for that moment to happen, or trying to hold on and survive until you get there. And so I think that that's really important too. It's like, we're not just saying that, hey, it'll get better for you one day. That's not what we're saying at all. We're saying that, hey, it'll get better because we're here to help. There are people that are here to help, and we see what you're doing, and we see your struggle, and hey, you're completely valid in that. Because for some people, it does take them having to wait until you're an adult, or you're able to be on your own and things like that. And sometimes that is just a horrendously long and scary wait, and a lot of things can happen in that time. But it's true. We can't wait to greet you there. That is absolutely true. Absolutely true. I don't know what color I want to pair with this. I don't want the bathroom to feel too dark. I think this is tiled. I don't really want that yet. After I do this bathroom, I'll take a quick little 5-minute break. Everybody get up and get a stretch in, get a snack, Get some water if you need to, and then we'll continue. I'm having so much fun, and I'm glad that we're getting to talk about so many good things. Too dark. Too green. Might be too light. I need a happy medium, please. No. Oops. I wish it wouldn't go all the way over. I don't like this one. No? Too much. And the one gray wall. I think that'll work. That'll work for what I want it to. Catch up with chat for a second. Like, it might suck horribly right now, and that's awful, and you shouldn't have to go through that. But know that there is an end to that horror, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and we can't wait to greet you there. You inspire me by the way, Lyrica. I've been building alongside you while renovating a single room with same dip. It's fun. I'm trying to go super maximalist and put a bunch of colors and stuff. Yay! Also, welcome back, Jesse. I am definitely more of a maximalist. I'm like, trinkets? I'll put trinkets. Give me all the trinkets. I love it. I will try to stuff as much as I can into a small space and then get very upset when I knock things over. But yeah, I do like to fill space. Let's put a nice little rug in here. Do I have more than one, or is this I wish this had more rug texture. We're gonna do Froggy again? What color? This is our blue room? I swear I'm putting one in every bathroom. I'm gonna put a tub in here. Bits and bobs, don't mind if I do. Lyrica, probably. Yes. Oh yeah. No, it's not even probably. That's 100%. Oh my god, look at this tub that I didn't know I had. I don't want to go for it. Ooh. This one's fancy. Like almost see-through. So regal. Well, that's very blue. That's not the... It's too blue. Blue for me. Tub. I was thinking of getting one that's a shower and a... tub. Because that's my best case scenario. Maximum style is usually too visually stimulating for me, so I don't really do much with it, but I'm enjoying trying to figure it out in this room. That's totally fair. Glad you're having fun. Yeah, that's one type of stimulation that I'm like, give me more! I think it's so amazing how brains work. Oh my god. Do you think that'd be comfortable though? It looks like stone. I don't know. The Princess Cordelia bathtub. Like I really like this one. I just wish that it came with a shower component. do that, maybe? I just don't know. I could also put the same shower in downstairs. I just realized that the pattern I want is with a CC. And I don't have any more. I gotta redo all of that. And then for those of you that follow me on my channel, I try to keep an up-to-date like an up-to-date Google Doc that has all of the mods and CC that I use, which I need to update, but I will have that updated soon so everybody can see all the CC that I use and like where I get it from, because there's a lot. I think I'm gonna go with this one again. Okay. And I'll send you screenshots later. Oh yes. Guess how big my mods folder is. You don't want to play guess how big my mods folder is. I feel like anybody that plays Sims with a lot of CC, if I were to tell them how many gigs how many gigs of CC I lost when my computer had to be reset. ETA for dog at least 25 minutes. Oh, sounds good. Thank you. Because it will make you cry. Will make you want to. This is a drippy. I like it. Okay. What the heck? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But I like it. That's a cool toilet. I want to know whose is bigger. Okay. It was like 15.8 something gigs. Gone. Completely gone. Which was a $2,000 bathtub, my god, or $2,000 toilet. Where's one of the ones that I put down? This one? Well, yours is bigger. That's the first time. I didn't even have the energy to sob when that happened, because all in all, it took about, I want to say that it took about 12 hours for my computer to be like up and running again after that. It was, ooh, it was a lot. I'm gonna put this in the corner right here. Currently 8.55 gigs. Yeah, it was a tragedy. I was very sad. What kind of sink? A peacock sink. What does that look like? Oh my god. How regal. Okay, so I think I get it now. It kind of just sits like that. Do you have it in a different sort of blue? What kind of CC do you download the most often? Recently, I've been downloading a lot of objects, house objects. And then like when I have my better build buy and tool mods in, it allows me to do things like I could, let's see, like take the frog rug for instance. I can take this and in tool I can enlarge it or reduce it to make it whatever size I want, and that's become really helpful because it kind of opens up a whole new part of decorating, because now things that you're like, I wish that was just a little bit bigger, it can be, or a little bit smaller, or I wish it was up a little bit higher. This is freaking cute. Totoro's gonna hold the toothpaste stuff. Can we bring that down a little bit lower? Right there. That's adorable. What is this? I just have lots of little odds and ends. Like this is probably like a face cream or something. I have lots of that stuff. I was looking for, what is this? Oh, it's like a bathroom tray. Out of curiosity, in my hair folders by far, I have a lot of hair too. I love getting hair CC. I was wanting to put like a thing right here like this. I didn't know if it really matched. Toilet paper, sure. I forgot to put this one in the other. In the other bathroom. That right there. And I used to primarily get my CC. I used to primarily get my CC from like the Sims resource, but then I transitioned over to getting a lot of my CC. The bedroom's gonna look so much different than the bathroom. I transitioned to getting a lot of my CC from Tumblr. And so I found myself getting big batches of CC from like one specific creator, two specific creators. And so I restructured how I did my CC folder. I also recommend having something if you have a lot of CC, like Sims 4 Studio or something like that. It's a CC manager, a custom content manager that will pull all of your mods from your mod folder into this, and it will categorize them. And if they have thumbnails or animations that go along with them, it'll bring those in too. So you can visually see each of your mods and manage them from there, find duplicates from there. You can also turn certain mods and CC on and off as well. I almost just moved things in my mouse over the game. Oh no. Just to be able to disable CCs for townies. Yep. It's definitely a good resource. I need to find a color that's gonna go good with this, because I think I'm gonna keep this. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that, but I think that it's time. Oops. Sims, hello. I think that it's time for us to probably take our little break. I think think it's about time for us to take our little break. We're only gonna take about a 5-minute break. I guess on to just chatting. There's the alert. Thank you so much for that follow. And thank you, Still Naughty, so much for that follow as well. I appreciate you all. So yeah, we're gonna take like a little 5-minute break, get up, stretch, get a snack, get something to drink. And then we'll come back and do some more decorating and chatting. I'll see y'all soon. All right. Not ready to get back. All right. I hope that was enough time for everybody to get what they needed. Get the water, got a snack. I have been captivated by these flaming hot barbecue chips from Wavy Laves. They're taking over my existence. Yeah, let's get back into decorate. Have fun. Here we go. You got to figure out what's gonna go best in this room. Let's see. This was what I originally used. There's a lot of them, so get mushrooms, mushies, the moths. I'm putting this in the study room. Immediately, yes. Since this is really just like a 1-bedroom. Which wall, though? Which wall do I do? I may just make this a whole square room just for the sake of being able to. Let's see. Let's take this and bring it out to here. Here we go. We have some narrow hallways in this house, but I wanted to be able, where'd it go? I wanted to be able to use that moth pattern in that room. Yes. Oh my god, yes. I am definitely a fan of like the accent wall. Peter escaped. Oh my, oh, he's just my dog Peter. He's just sitting in the hallway. Peter, come here. You want to say hi? What a good boy. Let's see if he'll let me. Hi, Peter. Is that good? Do you need some good pats? Some good scratches? Hi. You loving it? Oh, hi, baby. Hello, you precious angel. I'm gonna put you down now, okay? You say bye-bye? Bye-bye. Oh, am I gonna put you down? I gotta put you down. Oh God, he's such a sweet baby. He's just heavy.